Yeah, well, it was super difficult because as a man, you want to make sure that your woman is happy.
Exactly.
In all rights, right? So when it's a matter of health, I mean, I wish I had the hands to heal, but that wasn't my calling. But what I was able to do is use the instrument that I know, and that was business. So what I noticed was when she was sitting and just really focused and drawing on the iPad, and I'm like, Sam, you're in pain and this is what you're coming up with? Like, this stuff is like, it almost looked like she was tracing. But it was just freehand stuff, and she's ill on the iPad. Like, most artists got all these little pencils and all of that. She's like, tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, man, what the hell is, like, how do you do that?
Right.
And I come from a background in marketing and graphic design, but not freehand like that. So when I saw that, I said, okay, I think I have an idea.
Good idea, now we buying merch.
That's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spin.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, it's kind of ghetto being a CEO.
What's up, coworker? Don't you want to link together and get a live podcast experience of this Ghetto CEO podcast? Wouldn't you love to see Cody on the couch and your favorite entrepreneurs here in Atlanta? Well, you got to tap in and come to our happy hour live podcast experience December 16th of this year. Yes, December 16th, 2023. We are doing a live Ghetto CEO podcast. And guess what, y'all? I'm bringing some of y'all to the couch. All you got to do is click the link below, and you can either get your ticket or get on the wait list so that you can be able to get on this couch. Make your plans, grab your flights, get your rooms, because listen, the Ghetto CEO Live Podcast is not something that you want to miss. So December 16th, I want to see you guys there. Listen, last time we had the drinks flowing, we had the vibes going, we had a little dance, we had bars and all the things. So get in the room for the next Ghetto CEO Live Podcast, and I'll see you guys there. Now back to the episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast, where we talk about all things giving very much ghetto, because being a CEO is not something we chose to do. It's something that we actually stumbled into, right? On this podcast, we talk about the raw and unfiltered truth behind being a CEO. And if you are loving this podcast, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now listen, I need y'all to do me a favor. I don't care if you're watching this, but go on Apple Music, go on Spotify, and leave us a review. If you don't know, podcasts thrive on reviews. That's how the streets know we really popping. Okay, so listen, I have one of my favorite couples here. I think y'all are like the first couple
Oh yeah,
on the Ghetto CEO Podcast.
God is so good.
We keep it so real.
We keep it so real.
We finna get in their business, y'all.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I can't wait.
Let's
Okay,
do
y'all
it.
introduce yourself.
Okay, hello. I am Sam from The Nurse Sam. You may know me at social media with the handle at The Nurse Sam.
Yes.
I am the owner and CEO of Nurse Sam Global Media, and I make learning fun for nursing students.
Period.
All right. How you doing? My name is Arnaldo Cepeda, a.k.a. Mr. Nurse Sam.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm cracking.
There you go.
Up.
Listen, I support my wife. I'm with it. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best consultant you never heard of at Cepeda Capital. On everything, some of the best influencers, Fortune 500 companies. I've worked and done work for everybody. Yes. So I'm happy to be here, Monrae. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to have you guys. So, okay, Sam, I know you've had this business for a while. When you start your business?
2019.
And so, did y'all start working together?
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, the situation is so crazy. I would not have had this business if it was not for him.
Okay.
After I had a hysterectomy in 2018, and instead of, laying in bed all day crying about how I couldn't have kids, I was just like, okay, what can I do to kind of distract myself? And I love to draw. And my husband were like, why don't you just draw your notes and just kind of keep your skills up and then see where it goes from there.
So when you had the hysterectomy in 2018, you were in school at the time, or you had already graduated?
I was already graduated. I've been a nurse since 2014.
Okay.
So I just had to take an extended leave, but during that time I had to basically take FMLA and stuff like that. So I was off for a good 3 months.
Yeah. So talk to us about that time frame, 2018 hysterectomy. Y'all had just got married, right?
5 days before.
What?
Yeah.
5 days before.
And you stuck it out.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, when I made that commitment of marriage, it was a commitment to everything. I took those vows very seriously. And even though it was super soon, and it was crazy because I had just started, employment wise, I'm in the car industry.
Okay.
I've run some of the largest dealerships in Atlanta, just contract based. And I had just started a new contract. Like that Friday was like my 4th day, which was then her surgery. And I said, listen, I know this is soon, but I got to make sure my wife is all right. So, I had to shut everything down for a little bit and make sure that she was good. And then, that was like the foundation of, instead of going on some crazy honeymoon, which we ended up doing later on, we were in the hospital for a few days. You know what I'm saying? I had to literally carry her home. You know what I mean? And that's what it was about.
So 5 days before the wedding, y'all had a wedding or y'all just got married? Like y'all?
No, we had a wedding.
We had a wedding.
We had a full-blown wedding.
How did you get up, and be happy? And you know what I'm saying? Like this was devastating.
I know. Before the wedding, like the day of the wedding, we didn't really know how bad it was gonna be,
Gotcha.
and so we just kind of went there. We just wanted to just enjoy the day, and that's what we did. No stress, just we were surrounded by everybody that loved us, including each other. And, we just decided, okay, on the day of the surgery, we'll just take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
And it was scary, but what can you do?
Life be lifing.
Life be life.
Like, that
like
is
5 days later, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
That's not something that you plan
Exactly.
at all.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
So after that, because a lot of times people say a lot of the grief comes when it gets silent. So what happened? So it's 5 days later. We had a surgery. Back home. Now what?
Now I'm grieving. I'm be honest. I'm grieving. The first couple, like maybe weeks, I was too out of it and groggy still from like the surgery and stuff and the pain meds to kind of really feel. But like once I kind of got into the rhythm of everything, maybe like 2 weeks to like a month later, I was sad.
Yeah.
I was sad. I don't have kids. He has a son. At the time he was 8. So it was a good kind of like, not really a trade-off, but like I knew I didn't have nothing.
Right.
So, and I love his son, and he's my bonus son. I just like, I can consider him like my own. But the grief, I just wanted to distract myself. I'm one of those people, like, I'm going to get it out a little bit, but then I have to like do something with my mind because I will go down the dark and twisties.
Yeah.
So, my escape is either playing The Sims or Sims
Like
4.
hard body, like whole family, dog.
Oh, crack it
Different
up.
profiles. I'm like, Sam, who's this? Oh, well,
Don't do me.
They're getting married next week. But see, my other couple was, I said,
Don't
okay,
do
I'm
me.
out.
He telling the whole business.
Right.
Okay. So, all right. At this time, because I've been through something, not necessarily similar, but I had a miscarriage in my relationship, right? So I'm thinking, I'm feeling all of this grief, but I don't care what you talking about, how you here for me, like, you don't know what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was even that dynamic for you?
Yeah. Well, it was super difficult because as a man, you want to make sure that your woman is happy.
Exactly.
In all rights, right? So when it's a matter of health, I mean, I wish I had the hands to heal, but that wasn't my calling. But what I was able to do is use the instrument that I know, and that was business. So what I noticed was when she was sitting and just really focused and drawing on the iPad, and I'm like, Sam, you're in pain and this is what you're coming up with? Like, this stuff is like, it almost looked like she was tracing. But it was just freehand stuff. And she's ill on the iPad. Like, most artists got all these little pencils and all of that. She's like, tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, man, what the hell is, like, how do you do that?
Right.
And I come from a background in marketing and graphic design, but not freehand like that. So when I saw that, I said, okay, I think I have an idea. So, one day she's in super pain, sleep, and I'm up on the, setting up her LLC. You know what I'm saying? Setting up the business
you
bank
wouldn't even
account.
tell her?
No, she didn't even know.
Kiki!
Yeah, she didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
You finna wake
didn't
up
even
to a
know.
whole new life.
Legit. I mean,
and that's
first website built. I had her, do her first product. She didn't know it was the first product. I said, hey, maybe you should do this and add some of this in there.
Yeah.
And she, all of a sudden, a couple of pages later, I'm like, yeah, send that to me in PDF.
Yeah. And then it was up.
And I do what I did best. I just set everything up. She woke up. I said, okay, listen, I know what you're going through, but use this. Let's see what happens. And then the rest is history.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Rest is history.
So you wake up, you got a business.
Right. I was like,
What you feeling?
okay. We didn't talk about, I grew up, I never thought I was going to be a CEO. I never thought like business was my thing.
Yeah.
I am a left side of the brain type person. I'm artistic. I'm scared of numbers. Like, it was just one of those things. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have a whole business. Okay, great. Now I really can't fail.
Right.
So let me just do my best. And, you know, artistically, like creatively, you'd be hard pressed to find someone that can out create me.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like, you know, the business side and everything like that, I didn't know any of that. So I just went and dove into the world. Like I just started reading everything, investing in, you know, different like courses, classes, businesses. And then I came across you. Yes.
The marketer.
Yes.
Okay, the marketer. The marketer.
The marketer.
I'll tell you something even funnier. I remember her showing me your page. And I remember her saying, like, you know, we're at this point. I want to invest and get somebody. I said, well, show me what you got going on. And I said to her before she even said it, I said, this Monrae person, she's from corporate, isn't she? She started in corporate doing something. She's like, yeah, she did marketing. I said, yeah, she's the one. Like, and I remember having that conversation, and then like, you know, you guys, the camaraderie between you two is golden. And then, you know, her going through the courses and then like having these great months after and just really seeing things from a different light. Because me, like, I'm very militant. So it was like some things that I would say wouldn't translate the same way.
Hold on. Something was there. Well, okay,
Yeah.
so because you, like you said, you a left side.
Right.
He's
You're
right.
definitely giving right.
I'm super
So how is
analytical.
that oil and water?
Statistics, dollar amount, money, budget. That was all, you know, that's all me.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I tried to do is just kind of remove a lot of that stuff so she can have the freedom just to be the creative that she is and more. You know what I mean? So again, I mean, you know, with her, you know, we've traveled, her speaking at schools and things of that nature. Like, that's where she thrives at. Me, you know, I like being behind the scenes. You know, and creating everything and then making the systems work and everything else. I like banging my head against the wall with that kind of stuff. Yeah. While she just draws all the beautiful things and gets on Instagram and all 100,000 followers here, this, and I don't like all of that. I'm chilling.
But no, you know, that's a blessing because people pray for that. You know, people pray for you to be able to sit in your visionary seat and then be able to just have an implementer. But what was that? Because was it all cookies and cream?
Absolutely
like,
not.
Absolutely
not. It was rocky road.
Yeah.
Right. Rocky Road with extra crunch.
Yes. It was giving surprise mix. Okay. What happened?
It wasn't a well-oiled machine right off the gate. Like definitely not. He was still working at the time, and I was still I was trying to learn everything. And I would go to him for like, you know, any questions I may have. And, you know, because he was working, because he's very like militant, as you said. Like if I would come to him with an idea, it'd just be an idea. I wouldn't have anything else after that. And he'd be like, okay, what about this or this and this and this? And I'm like, you are saying words I have no idea. What are you saying?
Right.
And he was like, okay, well, if you want to take this further, if you really want to scale this thing and really make it what it could be, then you need to tighten up, basically.
Yeah.
And he was
But
just
how did that make you feel as a creative? Because we don't like to hear tighten up. I want to just think.
Right.
Like,
I'm an artist.
You figure that other stuff out.
Right. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yeah,
So he would be like, okay, this needs to improve, or this needs to improve, and you know, in the back of my head, I'm just like, but wait, you didn't even look at it.
You didn't see that I used the light pink shade and not the dark one.
Have you?
And
did
I'm
you
gonna
see
tell
the
you something.
creativity behind it?
And those colors better be right, because Sam will look at something. No. That's not my pink. I'm like, all right.
But for you, that doesn't matter for you
At all.
You know, for me, it's like, I think the thing that's made us work successfully, we know each other's lanes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And communication is key. I think communication is key in any relationship, but you got to think we're newlyweds, and we met and were married in like 3 months. A lot of people.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's giving 90 days.
Yeah, like
90 days fiance.
but like not the other way, because we was here already. So, you know, we met, you know, actually through church.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The pastor of my church, his mother-in-law, who that whole family I love very much.
Not really through church.
But you know, she was in a rehabilitation center where she was working at.
Okay.
So, the one thing about Sam, she has a very big heart for people. Yeah. Which is why nursing was like perfect for her. And even like now being in the education space is perfect because she puts her heart into everything she designs and creates. And not every creator is like that. Some people just create just based on raw talent, but there's talent and passion.
Right.
And when you put those two things together, you get something that's literally supernatural. So what happens is She was the nurse, and
She felt it.
she said, she was like, man, I just wish I had somebody like a son for you or something.
My patient, yeah.
And the pastor of the church said, oh, I have someone perfect. Let me call Arnaldo. And called me on the spot.
On Facebook video. Like, I'm just at my station trying to give her her pills. You know, I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. We just had a cold, so like my wig was slipping. I was hot. Like, it was just, it was not a time to play matchmaker, but hey.
It was a Sunday afternoon. I had left. I was going to church very diligently at the time. Left. I ain't gonna lie. I went to the bar after. That's something I used to do. Praise God. He's still working on me. But,
I can't.
So I was, and something said to me, Arnaldo, go home. It's time to go home. Mm-hmm. As soon as I walked into my door, the phone goes off, and I'm like, Bishop? He's like, hey man, it's somebody I want you to meet. Just hands her the phone.
Right, like literally turns it away. I got a Percocet in this hand and like heart medicine in this hand. I'm just like, hello.
Yeah, so we chat, couple seconds, exchange numbers. Our first date was actually 2 days later, which was like,
in this moment, y'all felt some type of connection to be like, okay, let me just give you, because I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was weird. It was weird.
Super weird.
Okay.
But I don't know, something just, you know,
it was like,
it worked.
Let me just do it.
Yeah, I said, you know what? What's the worst that can happen?
It's gonna be a story. Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a story at the end. I can't wait to do a story time with this.
Right.
Know this date for
you know, right. So then, like, it's funny because that was like in the beginning of June.
Okay.
3 days later, you know what I'm saying? I book out the sundial, and I was like, listen, I'm going to send you the address. Just meet me here for lunch. But
the whole restaurant?
Sort of.
Oh, I was going to say, God damn.
So what I did was I booked their last appointment during lunch when they had during the day, so I knew it wouldn't be as crowded.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I ran a little test first. I said, hey, I'm going to take you to Applebee's in Kennesaw. Just ran a little test. She was like, oh, okay, great. What time? I said, oh, I think this the one.
I didn't even know he was trying to ride on Applebee's.
Right.
I was like, ooh, not for 2 for $20.
Right. I like a little boneless wing.
See, I try to stay away from franchise anything for my own reasons. So then I said, no, that's not really where we're going. I got something set up for you. Then when we get there, I had set the table up and I went early. I had flowers. I was researching like, okay, what do nurses do all the time? Like they wash their hands 50 times a day. So I was like, all right, let me get her some hand lotion or something. So I go to Aveda. I'm like, listen, I need the best hand lotion you got. I'm meeting this girl. She's a nurse. I don't want to buy her a stethoscope, but, you know, some lotion. You know, something she can carry with it. But, you know, maybe the stethoscope wouldn't work. Right. So we went, and they was like, man, they was like, what's happening? I said, oh, my wife just got promoted to being a surgeon. So that's what I was telling everybody. Okay. So, like, I've never referred to her as my girlfriend ever.
Oh, wow.
It was always my wife, my wife, my wife. It's like I spoke that. Yeah. Because then when she finally got there, you know what I'm saying? We sit down, we meet, we talk. We were supposed to have lunch. We ended up leaving from the sundial. She had told me she'd never been to the aquarium. So, you know, while we're sitting here talking, I was like, oh, I got to go to the restroom. I'm buying tickets to the aquarium. Lunch
so what
is
you
over.
Thinking at this time? Because you walk in, fresh dress, smooth skin, and you like, I'm finna give it to him. I'm finna, like, what's happening?
So first of all, I walk in, I was just like, oh, he's doing a lot. First of all, I'm skeptical a little bit.
Yeah, like, you know.
I know. I was like, oh, he's doing a lot, but I'm not gonna say that right. So, you know, we get up there, I see the flowers and the little goodie bag. I was like, oh, he is really trying hard to get them.
Yeah.
Like, oh
see
my
that?
gosh.
See that?
He's working at this.
He is working.
I might give it to
clocked
him.
in.
You know, let me say something to the people. There are still good men out there. Okay? There are still good men out there who know how to court a woman.
Okay.
You understand?
We're not trying to get some.
But I was courting.
Let's be honest.
But it was the court over the song. Okay.
I feel you. I was like, did it end after the aquarium? Did we go back to the house? Like,
no.
Okay.
We after the aquarium,
3 months later, we got married because we need to speed this process up. Holy.
After the aquarium, we went to we had dessert somewhere else, and
this was a continue.
this was
This
was only supposed to be like about a 2-hour date. It was like 12 hours.
We met at like 2:45. We didn't separate till about 12:30.
Yeah. Oh wow. So when was after that day? Then what was next? Have you been completely isolating yourself in business? Like you don't have people that you could do this business with. Well, you need coworkers, and that is why we created the Entrepreneurs Coworkers Community. This allows you to be able to develop develop relationships with other people in your community. So in the entrepreneurship co-workers community, we give you a quiz to find out who you are and what type of CEO you are. And in this quiz, you get to meet other CEOs that may be more creative or traditional or hybrid. We have these CEOs there for you. But even taking it up a notch, we have local chapters in your city, from Atlanta to Dallas to New York to Houston to Chicago, chapters in your city where we're actually linking up every single month to work together, linking up to go to brunch together, having fun together, doing community service outreach. Like, this is a section of our life where we can really co-work and mingle with other people. It's time for you to get some co-workers, sis. And this community is completely free. Just because you're watching this podcast, all you have to do is stop, pause the podcast, click the link below, take the assessment, get in the community, and I'll see you there. Bye, coworker. Back to the episode.
And then like a week or the rest of that week had went by, and then the weekend of Father's Day.
Yeah, like we had seen each other off and on. Like I was going to the job.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We met for lunch a couple of times.
Nothing up yet.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh, clean.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, when I saw her in person, as clear as you hear my voice, I heard God say, "That's your wife, man. Don't mess this one up."
And he said that from day one, but I'm not gonna lie. When the first time he said it, I was like,
okay.
See that?
what do you
that?
sound like?
Right.
What do you sound like?
Like this. Like this. Deep voice.
Yes.
And I thought it was
He
just
told
game.
you that God told him that you were his wife.
Yeah, I just put it out there. I mean, you know.
And
And
so
I thought
now
it was
we
just
dating.
game.
Yeah.
So we dating.
Yeah.
When did you propose?
Like 6 weeks later?
Give or take. So 2 weeks later was Father's Day. And that's when she came over to my place for the first time and I actually cooked for her.
Okay.
Here's the trick
cook?
though. She never left.
Oh shit.
Right.
You still there?
Ew.
Right.
5 years later.
5 years later in the game. You know what I'm saying? So she came over with a bag and then another bag and then another bag.
You know, because that's how we do.
And then another bag.
Don't act like it was just me.
Then a toothbrush.
Don't act like it was just me. You was
Then
like,
another
just come
bag.
over.
Right. Now another wig.
Yeah, I said, listen,
now I got
just-
a wig bag there. Like,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whole section of the closets.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what we doing.
I like it. So
Yeah.
6 weeks later, you proposed. How did you propose?
Correct. So she was actually still working nights.
Okay.
And what I did was I had a whole section of my apartment while she was asleep. I had, and I'm not an early riser at
Okay.
all. So she sleep, I get up, my son is with me, he helped me. We ran, I typed out this letter, had it printed out, put into this big frame, went and got the ring, had like flower, rose petals and everything. So when she woke up, coal in her eye and everything, scarf on, bonnet, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did it right there. And my son, when she came out, my son threw rose petals on her.
I'm cracking up.
And I was,
in.
my son was all up in it.
He was recording and everything.
Yeah,
taking
he was the best. That's why we don't have many good pictures. Most of them are like from here down.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, I literally just woke up. I was like, you knew there was not be a photo op, right? 'Cause-
All right. And then we did, and it was actually the morning of the pastor's birthday who connected us. Which actually wasn't even planned. I didn't think about it till later because that night we went to his birthday party. And this is Bishop Phelps with New Faith Christian Church. They have, a ton of locations now, but this is when we were focused mainly in Stockbridge. And, again, I'm like a part of that family. I helped that church grow. I worked with them on a lot of projects and things of that nature, man. I love them to life. But, on his birthday morning, and then we announced it to everybody actually at his birthday dinner.
So y'all walk in.
Yeah, ring on.
Hey y'all.
It was an all-white party too. It was perfect. We was in the gang. You know what I'm saying?
I can't
Like, can you pass the...
right. Knowing I'm right-handed, be like, give me that.
Give me that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
love
man,
it.
this is
I love
crazy.
it.
This is
so
crazy.
then 3 months later, y'all get married, right?
Yeah.
But 5 days before y'all get married. After y'all got married. Okay, 5 days before, after y'all got married, you had a surgery, you had a hysterectomy, all the things.
Right.
Now we're in a relationship. Now you got a business. And you didn't know you was going to wake up with a business. You wake up to a lot of stuff. He likes to do things while you're asleep.
Yeah. I'm a night crawler.
I was like, wait, is it because you're a night crawler? Is because that's when I'm not talking the most? And I'm
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. So y'all starting this business. It's 2020. Your business is growing. Where are we now? In the relationship, where are we now in the business? What's happening?
so much.
Because 2020 was the end of 2018 was the hysterectomy.
Okay.
And throughout the rest of the year, I was mourning. So the top of 2019 is when we had the idea with the business, and that's when I woke up to the website. I think around up until I guess to 2020, that's when COVID started. I went back to work.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be to work, I guess, full time like that just because of the surgery. I couldn't be up for 12 hours a day, 12 to 14 hours a day. So I literally had to get creative with my career. And so even though I had that business, I didn't really know what to do with it. And so I really started to do some research, and that's when I started doing like the target audience research and really discovering who it is I want to market to, who it is that I want to serve. Right. And, obviously nursing students, but, want to break that down just a little bit more. And so as I was sharing like my study guides and like my certain like images and graphics that were related to nursing, but I would do it in a fun way. Like I have ADHD, so a lot of things that we're learning in nursing school is super overwhelming. It's a lot, and it didn't stick in my mind. So I wanted to make it fun. And the more fun it is or entertaining to learn, the more you actually remember it and learn it. So, I was just being inspired about any and everything. I was just creatively just kind of open. And eventually I created like a few different study guides, like a pharmacology one, a NCLEX one, and I had a little bundle basically. So when I started promoting that and I started seeing like the traffic, that's when COVID started hitting. And did I get sick first?
No, I did.
You got sick first. You got sick first. I stopped, I left my actual nursing job to do my business full time. And then he got sick at the same time. So while I was nursing him back to health, I was also signed up for your stuff, like your lockdown. Remember, that was one of the first things that I did. Yeah. And in that lockdown, even though it was like those 3 days, I learned so much and just applied so much to my business. One of the main things was like going from Wix to Shopify. Yeah. And the day I went over to from Wix to Shopify, like my sales like tripled, and it hasn't looked back since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
like I remember her first sale, period. And how excited she was. It was like $18. And like when I saw that, I said, okay, we need to take this serious.
Right.
Because nursing was something that was very fulfilling. But there was a ceiling of happiness that she was hitting in her career that I wanted her to break through.
Right.
Because I knew that she was super talented, and a lot of that talent was going to waste. And I'll tell you something, I like full circle moments, right? So it's like the company she worked for, I remember saying, hey, we should offer to do something for them. Then that'll give you a good litmus. Well, they was like, no, we don't really need that. We contracted with somebody already. So fast forward a few years later, the CEO of that company reached out. It was hey, I would love for you guys to do something. I said, well, you had the opportunity, but everybody who thinks they're in control made that decision for you.
Oh, wow.
And,
He the bit. What's your sign?
Can you guess?
I'm a Capricorn.
Guess.
He Capricorn.
Yeah. Why is everybody saying that?
Jumped out.
Yeah, it sure do.
I'm talking about
it sure do.
Like
it sure do.
Like, I was waiting.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I give people a pass. You say something about me, whatever. But when it comes to my wife or my son, I get down and dirty. You understand? I don't play. At all. I do not play.
Well, clearly we see a 90-day fiance, 90-day husband, actually, right?
That's it.
Like, don't play. So, all right, doing this transition, y'all are now working together. Y'all, not only y'all working together, y'all are still considered newlyweds, right?
Absolutely.
And y'all stuck in the house together, and the child is there too. So now y'all are also, you a new parent. Yeah. So like, what was anything hard about this? Like, what was the hardest thing that y'all had to overcome in the relationship?
Of course, it was hard. All of it was
Everything was hard.
But
it's supposed
you're trying to you're just trying to get used to like the new normal, especially with everything happening in the world. Now I will say like relationship wise, it definitely like strengthened us. It was everything was hard at first, but because of that time, we just communicated more. We spent more time together. And outside of just like personal stuff, we took that time and dedicated it to the business. So we kind of like grew as not only like, you know, romantic partners, but we also grew as business partners.
Did y'all get an opportunity to figure out how to separate the two? Like how to be like business partners on this point, but like romantic partners in this point?
Still trying to figure it out.
That's still, and I'm gonna tell you why that's still so difficult, because we love what we do. So
y'all be like talking about it in the shower. I'm trying to shower.
No, seriously.
Literally exactly what
Seriously.
happens.
Yeah.
I'll be
Or-
like, he'll be in the study, he'll be in the shower. I almost said study guy. He'll be in the shower and I'll be like, look at this. Look what I just did. And he'll be like, that's nice.
Right. I'm like, man, I got soap in my eye, but give me a second.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, like she'll be sleeping, I'll be up. I'll come up with some different strategy. I'm like, Sam, wake up. And she's like, huh? I'm like, look, we got a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll say it all again in the morning. Don't worry.
Because I need to get that out.
You know, and there's still that excitement every time there's a new idea, a new product, a new study guide, a new something. We still get excited like it was day one. You know, and I've been blessed to pick and choose when I want to work and who I work for and who I work with. So it's very refreshing to know that like my life partner is also my main business partner. You know, because I have other companies out there. You know, I dabble in real estate, you know, software development, which all helps because those are a lot of things that she needs support with as far as like the digital side of things and the systems and the automations. That's why I go crazy. So, you know, I set up a lot of that stuff for her, and then, you know, I manage all of our staff. You know, so me being in the car industry, I've had up to 108 direct reports. So managing people is very like second nature to me because I've always been in a leadership position. You know, even, you know, growing up in church and doing different things like that. I was almost a youth pastor at one point, which is like a whole nother story. But like, there's like this innate leadership quality where, you know, one, I work just as hard as the people who work for me and with me. I don't like the word boss, manager, none of that. Just call me. Okay, let's do it. Because the title means nothing if we don't have the result. So, you know, a lot of that I've been able to implement into our own culture. So like as we grow our team and, you know, we do a lot of, you know, licensing and people with like 1099 contracts, a couple of like regular employees and stuff like that. And we outsource very minimal things. And that's why our, you know, our profit margins are so high because we do so much in-house. I mean, we're both workaholics. I'm a lot worse than she is. I'm a lot worse than she is. Cause like, I mean, we'll come home from a night of going out, drinking, partying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
to that computer.
I got an idea.
No, we'll be out.
And that
somewhere.
Too sometimes. Yeah.
We'll be out somewhere and you'll be like, checking emails or like
but y'all
something.
do find time to have time together.
Definitely.
And that's a beautiful thing. But before we go, I got one last question.
Sure.
What is, I guess, a specific incident or a time where y'all really had to like overcome? Like what is something that y'all had to overcome or the biggest mistake that y'all made together?
Oh man, there's been a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
people
think the road to success is a very straight line.
Man,
we screw up all the time, but it's always a lesson.
It's ghetto.
Right. Super ghetto. And I think sometimes one of the biggest mistakes we made in some of the stuff that we used to outsource was Sam has a very personable brand. So sometimes if we let someone else try to embody that and send communications out for us, doesn't always translate the same way. So there's been times where we worked with a company with certain things and we had to, okay, wait a minute. That's kind of not what we talked about, you know, or people trying to make decisions for us because they think we're new in business. You know, we're very humble. A lot of people don't know the money we generate, the businesses we own, a lot of stuff that we own, our faces aren't on it on purpose. You know, because we go off energy. How you treat us, then we gonna put you up on game.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Or tell you, but I think, you know, sometimes we've mishired, but, you know, I was able to identify that early in most cases and we were able to shift. But it's expensive. Turnover, attrition rates.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is expensive. You know, we like retention. We like people with us for the long run. You know what I'm saying? And a good thing that we've done also is someone who was leaving us to start their own business was doing something that they did for us. We supported it and became their first client. Oh. So, you know, we like to help people get to the next level and help people grow. That's just the consultant in me, you know, because I've been doing it for so long. You know, I've worked with many pastors, high-powered CEOs, people in finance, you know, just making things more efficient. So I'm able to be her anchor, you know, with all the creativity, then I can make it into a strategy.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on my side, like as far as like the whole nursing thing, just piggybacking off what he said, it's very hard to, I guess, like channel or just really understand the plight of a nursing student or nurse unless you've been through it.
Yeah.
A lot of the pain points and, you know, things that nurses or nursing students go through, you don't really understand that unless you've been there.
Absolutely.
So like a lot of times when I would want to just create focus on the creative, and we'll like delegate something like that, like maybe like ads or an email or something like that, or a push notification, and the lingo would be so off that it would just be awkward and inauthentic. And my audience can pick that up in a second. So that was something that not only was an expensive mistake, it also affected like my community. So I didn't want them to think that like it was just random people or just the computer bots. Like they think that they're talking to me. You know? And I didn't want to ruin that. So I was like, even if we have to put a pause and everything else as far as like, you know, the timeline, let's do that, because I'd rather just get back that genuine authenticity than make a quick buck and lose all trust.
And that, you know, honestly, it makes sense. I tell people right now, the biggest thing is like attention and community, you know, garnering as much attention as possible, but also building the strongest tribe that you can. So, and you have done that. You have, you know, created a successful business, but also a successful tribe. So I'm excited about this next chapter for you. And I think it's going to be amazing, y'all. Now, listen. If you are trying to create a business, or you are trying to like just keep going, figure out what are you missing. What you're missing is a man. Okay, clearly you need a husband. That's why it's not working out. No, I'm just no. I am super excited that I got to talk to you guys, and you guys got to see a relationship that actually thrived on the other side. Like he was pulling her to do this business. She wasn't trying to convince him that I needed to have this business, right? And I am super excited for like you guys to continue to watch their growth. I want you guys to stay tuned in to the Ghetto CEO Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast. And don't forget to leave a review. I'll see y'all in the comments. Bye, y'all.